Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be taking a look at the Studio Series Gamer Edition, even though they dropped that for this figure, weirdly enough. Transformers Devastation A-level Optimus Prime. Honestly, a surprisingly good figure with a weird alt mode, or at least an odd looking one compared to how we've gotten other Optimus Primes over the years. But yeah, as you can see, one all-pin wheels. And, yeah, like a bit of a gappy alt mode, some like hollow bits here and there. The axe weapon, which we'll go over in a little bit. The head's just visibly out here, the feet are just back here, and for one, what is well known about the Devastation games is the cell shading on the models. This guy only has cell shading on the windows, which makes sense. Paint budgets are weird and kind of annoying. And also, since this is meant to be A-level, and this is meant for younger kids, less paint chipping is arguably for the better. But yeah, I do wish the rest of the figure could have gotten the same, like, cell shading treatment that the, 35th anniversary, Siege molds got. But yeah, and considering this is not blue plastic, but this is the same white plastic, just painted with the blue, do be wary. But yeah. So, and I feel like all of the paint budget annoyingly went to the axe weapon here. As you can see, very thickly painted in the yellow, and for some reason has a molded effect part on it. I understand why they did this. I understand why. But I don't like it. Like, they wanted to give it some, motion when you're using it in action, but considering this is the only accessory he can use in robot mode, I kinda do wish that they just scrapped this and gave him a gun. Which we'll go over and how you can kind of fix that once we get to robot mode, but it does store back here thanks to the tab. But I'm just going to remove it for the rest of the comparisons here. And speaking of which, let's do some Optimus Prime comparisons. So here he is next to the missing link. Here he is next to the Earthrise mold. And for a true another deluxe Optimus Prime comparison, here is the G1 toy version of Optimus Prime. So let's just say, taking Missing Link out of the picture, you technically have options for your primes, which is kind of funny. And also, especially if you want to get to the Earthrise mold, since that hasn't been repackaged in any way in the past few years, really you only got these two. So you got a version that's more Sunbow designed, you got a version that's more so G1 toy, which is honestly pretty cool that there are options like this, that they're doing this. Because I honestly wouldn't have expected that we would have gotten, in the same lifetime that we got this guy, we would have gotten the new one here. And also, something that reminded me, when I first saw the robot mode and the vehicle mode here, in both the stock photos and especially when I got it in hand, it reminded me of the old 2006, I believe, version of classic Optimus Prime. That was this version here, which I think was my first ever G1 Optimus Prime. And as you can see, it's been well loved over the past few years, I guess. But yeah, we'll go over how it looks more so in robot mode, but I'm missing the gun, I'm missing one of the smokestacks, and he's a bit loose nowadays, but honestly, I'm happy to have him. But yeah, we'll go over this guy more so when we get to robot mode. And also, speaking of Devastation, here are the other playable characters that we currently have in Legacy / Generations, whatever we're calling this era now. So yeah, so it does make me wonder, especially with, for one, Grimlock here, and also everyone else, will they be getting their own Gamerverse versions? Because I can see that happening probably with Bumblebee, but also, maybe with Sideswipe, since they haven't reused the, character name in a hot minute, and honestly, I could see them doing that maybe for Grimlock, as, a Voyager, considering when we get to robot mode, this toy goes from one more Sunbow design, considering that's what the game model had it as. He goes for a modernized, design, kind of merging of, the G1 toy. But yeah, we'll get to that when we get to robot mode. But yeah, like, I would be curious to see like a Voyager version of this guy in the Gamerverse, or none, in the Devastation design with the cell shading. I'd be curious on how they do that. But yeah, so let's get everyone here out of the way. And let's move on to transformation. But yeah, and honestly, it is very simple. Okay, to start off with transformation, we want to disconnect what were the gas canisters here off to the sides, and then do that on the same side. Unfold the feet, which do have some nice detailing, especially for, like, I assume turn signals and brake lights, but they're not painted, obviously. Fold the wheels around like this, and then you just fully tab them in, just like so. To untab the legs, we can bring it down here and fold in the trailer hitch. That's what the word is. And there we go. Now we can work on the front. And while transforming this from truck mode is easy, going back into truck mode is kind of annoying, especially with these tabs right here. Because there's a tab right here that's meant to go into a slot right here, and trying to get it back in can be a bit difficult, especially because you have to hold this part further down, thus stressing the plastic. But then again, this guy is surprisingly made out of some durable plastics, and honestly some great feeling plastic, weirdly enough, even though, yes, there are hollow bits. That's understandable. But they're not really noticeable up front, except for this one here, because this one is where the axe stores in vehicle mode, which kind of sucks. But anyway, back to transformation. Flip out the arms, untab the arms from this panel here, fold the hands forward, and then boom, you got the arms done. And for the legs, you can just like bring them out and then bring them down, because they go around this point here, and you're in vehicle mode. And also when you're going back into vehicle mode, make sure the truck bed is up like this, and then you fold the side pieces around, because they latch on to these tabs right here. For some reason it's focusing on the feet. There we go. So yeah, this slot goes over this tab here. So, and then because this is already collapsed, it'll collapse in on itself, so then you can rotate the sides of the truck around. You can fold the head up. You can bring the legs down, rotate this all around, and then for the butts, wheels, you just fold them up like this, then rotate the head around, and then boom, there you have the Transformers Devastation Optimus Prime in robot mode, and it is out of focus. There we go. So yeah, honestly, this is the only Optimus Prime that I know at a regular retail level that does the like disappearing like side strips, because this wasn't present on the vehicle mode at all. But yeah, honestly, it's not bad looking. It's just that the stock photography kind of sucked, especially in vehicle mode. Like, he is honestly a good looking Optimus Prime. It's just it still has some qualities that you're going to have to get used to. And that will be explained when we go over articulation, but first, let's do some size comparisons. So, start off with, here he is with the other most iconic, like, Prime figure of recent days, or recent years, that being the Earthrise mold. And as you can see, he's obviously a head shorter, but then again, Voyager Deluxe. Or, well, Leader in Deluxe, technically. But yeah, so not bad. I still say try and hunt down this guy if you're looking for a main G1 display, but if you're looking for like a fidget figure for like your desk, I say this guy's honestly pretty good. But yeah, so here he is next to the rest of the playable characters from Devastation. There's Wheeljack, we got a Bumblebee, Sideswipe, and Grimlock. Which honestly, not bad in terms of sizing, though, again, as I said, Grimlock here is based more on like, it's kind of like a hybridization of both the G1 toy and the G1, like, animation model, considering this guy is also from Studio Series. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a, like, Transformers Devastation version of, I hope not this mold. I hope, honestly, its own mold, because, don't get me wrong, this guy is honestly really good. But I'm curious to see what they could do at maybe a Voyager level. Because, I don't know why, Voyager is the first thing that comes to mind, because Deluxe would be too small. But yeah. Also, let's get these out of the way. I do find it interesting that all of the A-level figures so far have been both a Bumblebee and an Optimus Prime, with, like, Transformers 1 Optimus Prime being the first, then 86 Bumblebee, then this version of Optimus, and then now the, well, Transformers 1 version of Bumblebee. I do find it interesting. I do hope A-level branches out to different characters that are also popular, but considering Optimus and Bumblebee are the ones who, you know, make the big bucks, I honestly kind of doubt it. But yeah. And also, I should say, I did a little bit of modification to this guy, mostly because I saw on Blue Sky someone who, like, panel-lined these spots right here, and honestly, it does make it stand out a lot more with all the detailing that kind of gets washed away in this, like, white nylon-esque plastic, even though I don't know if it's actually nylon. But yeah. And for his only accessory, as I mentioned, is Energon X, which can go in his hand right here. And it looks fine. Like, it can be useful in, like, an action pose. Make it look like he's doing something mid-swing. But honestly, I tend to set this off to the side or put it in the storage slots right here on the back, because even though in the instructions don't mention it, you can store it back here. And I tend to really give him the extra gun that comes with the Legacy, like, United version of the G1 Prime, because honestly, that looks good. This guy looks good with a gun. And honestly, he does look good, better with this axe as well. That also comes with the set. That comes with this figure. And I do find it interesting that we now have options for, hey, do you want a Deluxe Prime that's more G1 styled, or do you want one that's more other G1 styled? Like, this is honestly pretty cool. I would not have expected that we'd gotten, in the past few years, these two figures that essentially are called the same thing, but aren't. It's very interesting to me. But yeah, so let's get this off to the side. Get that X out of here. Like, it does work. It doesn't fully fit over the hand, but it can work in, like, a good action, like, photo. But yeah, like, I'm probably going to keep this gun with him because it just feels right. And also, two more comparisons, and then we'll get on to Articulation. For the other, like, comparison that I forgot, here he is next to Nova Prime, who was supposedly going to be the villain of the next Devastation game, but that game didn't happen, unfortunately. But yeah, I am happy that we essentially got, that we're going to get new versions of, like, the Devastation designs, or at least new figures, because, to my knowledge, they never got a figure line when that game released, unlike War for Cybertron and, like, Fall of Cybertron. But yeah. So. And then for my more sentimental comparison, that being, technically my first G1 Optimus Prime figure. But yeah, 1 second. Sorry about that, I had to go take care of something. But yeah, as you can see here, this figure, like, I don't remember when this came out. I'm pretty sure it came out around 2006. I don't remember much, but I remember playing this figure a lot. And as you can obviously see, there's been some paint wear and tear. Again, as I mentioned earlier, missing parts, missing accessories. But I am still happy to have it, because this was technically my first Optimus Prime. And it essentially now has a spiritual successor in the form of the new, like, Devastation Prime. Like, that's, like, it's just so, it's a weird coincidence, but I'm happy it exists. But yeah. And also, in comparison to my previous review, here is Missing Link, and obviously bigger and, well, more chrome. But yeah. So, let's get these accessories off of him. Then we can quickly go over Articulation. So for Articulation, he basically has a rotation at the head with a... It's supposed to be a ball joint, from what I can tell back here through the, spot where they let the air out for the molding. It's supposed to be a ball joint. You can kind of get it to work like a ball joint, but it doesn't fully work, so you're going to get more of a rotation out of it. If you wanted to look up, you can move the panel up, but that doesn't look right. It makes it look like Optimus Prime has a turtleneck. Shoulders are are technically on a butterfly joint because of transformation, and can move up that far, and you can get a full rotation out of it. There's a bicep rotation, 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, and the wrists do nothing. Also, fun fact, something that I discovered because, for one, this isn't pinned on. This is actually a ball joint, which is, yeah, as you can see, it is a ball joint, meaning that you can technically get some, like, more inwards movement if you try to extend the joint out a bit. It's a little bit farther, but hey, it's honestly pretty nice and gives you more play in the shoulders. So, he has a waist rotation. It doesn't go the full 360 because it bumps into the wheel wells back here. And you can't really move them back, like, far enough to get it to, work. But, hey, at least he has a little bit of a waist rotation than having none at all. Legs can go forward that far and can go back that far. Can go out all the way. And honestly, that... Like, I know this isn't meant for transformation, but that does look kind of weird. Like, yeah, like, there's a knee rotation, is what I'm calling this, because the thigh itself doesn't actually move. It gets 90 degrees of bend at the knee. Ankles can go the full 90. And you get some toe articulation, more so downwards because of transformation, and it does lock into place with the ankle articulation because this is for, like, vehicle mode. But yeah, honestly, this guy is weirdly posable, but then again, the poses are a bit odd because, for one, the forearm is longer than the shoulder, and like, the legs can go up far enough, and I feel like there could have been a little bit more in terms of knee articulation if they had removed that part there. But I guess this was just for, like, structural reasons. I don't know. But, yeah. Also, one final accessory, because no Optimus Prime would be complete without one, he comes with his own little matrix. Unpainted, but there's a matrix. And also, this leads me to have the theory of, if they use this mold again, I'm pretty sure that these three parts here are probably going to be cast out of clear plastic. Because, for one, if you look on the other side, if the camera will focus, please, there are, like, little, like, bejeweled looking sections on there that are kind of the same on the other matrices that we've gotten in past years. Like, for example, on the Earthrise matrix, or, well, no, not on the Earthrise matrix, actually, on the, like, TF1 matrix, there are these, like, same, like, spots here, leading to me to believe this is, well, not the same mold, but the same ideas. And also, speaking of the same ideas, you can't fit it into these grooves that are underneath the hands right here, so you technically can light our darkest hour. And also focus our darkest hour. But yeah. So, it does kind of suck that this is unpainted, but considering I don't know if he used the Matrix all that much in the actual video game. It's more just a fun inclusion then. If he did use it, then I feel like some of the paint budget from the axe could have gone to this guy, or gone to the Matrix, but, yeah. So, this has been my review for the Studio Series Devastation Optimus Prime. Honestly, I find it to be a bit of a flawed figure, but not an unfun figure, or, like, bad by any, like, stretch of the imagination. Just very awkward, and honestly, he should have come with a gun instead of, well, the axe, even though, yes, it was more of a melee game, to my knowledge. So, yeah. So, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let me know what could have they done to improve this guy, what they could have done to, well, make it look less awkward in vehicle mode, and also, who do you think they're going to do next from the Devastation line that hasn't already been revealed? Because I know there is the Target exclusive, like, double pack minion thing from Devastation. But, yeah. So, hope you guys have enjoyed, and this is me signing off. Peace.